I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack them. Rushing like a bullet into the end zone. Defense, hold up, no scoring in the red zone. Throw it up, pick 6, I feel like I'm Josh Rowe. Throwing downs over the shoulder, think I'm Jack Winmo. I need me back to back, trying to be like Vulture. Cause a storm, cause I'm mighty, it's in the culture. Esports TV, YouTube, Twitch, SFL live tuning, you don't wanna miss. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack them. Next level like my entertainment. NXT on the stream, 8 p.m. on the beat. Catch me on the cam like I'm SFL commence. Yeah, you only got one chance, you can never miss. For the glory, revolution, feel my fury. Cause I'm a legend out in Canton, and I'm playing with dragons. I'm the king of this legion. SFL action, tuning this season.
Kickoff! Are you kidding me?
All they're gonna need is
big pop, it's up in the air! And
Oh,
let's
God.
go now! There you go! That's how Kickoff City's gonna win!
Is there a goal? Taser power! Touchdown! Quick!
I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack them.
It is a wonderful Saturday, and welcome to Next Level Sports' coverage of the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music here in Week 11 of Season 19. Alongside Mike St. Green, I'm Cameron Irvine. Mike, how is your weekend going? Welcome to the program.
It's going great, Cam, man, and it feels like, it's been forever since we've been on. I think it's been a week and a half, and it feels like it's been a month and a half since we were last here, and the weekend is off to a great start already with a couple of games under our belt last night, and if we get anything like that the remainder of the weekend, it's going to be a fantastic weekend.
It was an excellent Friday night, and we'll have all of those highlights for you at the half. Today, it's Los Angeles and Queen City, a pair of 3-5 teams who have had some bright spots this season and some down moments, Mike, but LA and Queen City, they're kind of quirky teams up and down. LA really tries to take care of the ball. OJ Bruin is a wild child back there for Queen City, but it sure should be a fun matchup here today.
Yeah, and I think I saw a league, post saying how critical this weekend is going to be in Week 11, and it's definitely a critical weekend for Queen City and LA. And as you mentioned, up and down, and we never know what we're going to get. But mostly the past few weeks has been down for both teams. Queen City, they're coming in losing 3 out of their last 4. LA coming in losing 4 out of their last 5. And right now, both of these teams find themselves really needing a victory if they want to try to make the playoff run here towards the end of the season.
But see, one of these teams is going to get to 4-5, and that's going to really boost their playoff chances. First, with Los Angeles, their remaining opponents are really difficult. This is one of the toughest ways to end the season of any team in the league. They host London, then they're at Canton, and then host Vancouver after this one. So you have to feel, Mike, if LA's going to make a playoff push, they got to take care of business against Queen City and give themselves a shot down the line here in this game.
Yeah, and it's going to be tough, Cam, going on the road over there to play Queen City. It's always tough to win on the road here in the SFL. And then, as you mentioned, London right now stands as the only undefeated team in the league, and they're playing fantastically right now. So they need to get this win and worry about next week when next week gets here. But, hey, Queen City, they want to remain in the race as well. So it's going to be tough all the way around. We're going to see a hard knock game right here tonight, Cam.
On the Queen City side, can you believe, Mike, they have not won a playoff game since they won their Season 8 championship. That is a ridiculous stat, and this team is trying to get back to their old glory days. They have shown some flashes, Mike. And what do you like about this Corsair team?
Well, what I have liked about them in the past, I'm going to give you these numbers, Cam. I'm going to give you 13, 17, and 11, and that's Jet Zero, the great running back at Queen City. That's been his touchdown totals the previous 3 seasons, and I'll give you this number 2. That's what he's had so far this season. He's really been struggling on the ground, but mainly it's because of the carries. He only has about 130 carries on the season. He had and his carry total is typically double that during the course of the season. I would like to see Queen City get Jet Zero more involved, pound the rock, get him 30 to 35 carries that we're accustomed to seeing him do in the past, and take some of the pressure off OJ Bruin. OJ Bruin's QBR is towards the bottom of the league, but take some of the pressure off of him with Jet Zero, and let's see him pound the rock.
You mentioned Queen City's bit of a losing streak. Their one win they've had over the last few weeks was against Vancouver, that upset win. And in that game, Mike, Jet Zero was phenomenal. He had that one run early in the first half where he broke 3 different tackles, left people battered and bruised behind him. And Queen City's better when he has a good game, whether he gets a bunch of carries or not, just if he's productive, as you said. It keeps the pressure off of O.J. Bruin. Sully Richardson does not turn the ball over. L.A. plays a much more patient, conservative offense. They lean on that defensive backfield in their secondary to keep games close. I would expect a somewhat low-scoring game here today, Mike, but with these two teams, you never really know.
And as you just mentioned, that great secondary and that great defense, they're led by Gary Marks up front. 9 sacks on the season. Had a big game against Motor City a couple of weeks ago with 5 sacks in that game. And this the passing defense of LA has been fantastic. Only giving up 192 yards a game, which is first in the league. So if Queen City wants to make a dent on that defense, let's pound the rock and see if we can get some things going on the ground, because the great secondary with Rochelle Colston and Ryan Yosef, these guys are patrolling the airways back there.
Around the top of the hour, the second game of our coverage here on Next Level Sports will get going. Denver and Houston. It's a rare meeting in Houston. Denver's first since season 13 back in August of 2019. That was a 41-24 Nightwing victory. But Denver a little bit down, 3-5. Houston is 5-3. I know you'll be paying close attention to that one, Mike. And as we were saying in pregame, Houston's in a precarious position coming into this football game today.
Yeah, Houston are definitely in a precarious position with the Lone Star win last night. That really helped put Houston in the position that they're in right now. If Houston loses, they will be last in the South Division. But if they win and a Fort Worth win tomorrow, Houston will be first place in the South Division. So, that's a I don't know if you want to say good or bad position to be in, but hey, it's good being part of that first place conversation. And and then one thing that Houston has is a great defense. As far as the defensive line, everything starts right there. 4 players on the defensive line have 5 sacks plus, and then basically they give that secondary a chance to patrol. And Josh Rowe is better than anybody in the league with 10 interceptions as lead the league right now.
Denver's defense is sneaky. They only gave up 7 to San Diego, and San Diego has scored more than 40 in the 4 games since playing Denver, which is one of the more bizarre stats of the whole season. Florida, just like Los Angeles, they have a tough way to end their season. They host Florida and Mexico City in back-to-back weeks after this game at Houston. They really need a win. They've lost their last 4 on the road, and going 3-6 with Florida and Mexico City left on your schedule, Mike, that's a recipe for disaster down the stretch if you're the Nightwings.
Yeah, and the Nightwings really didn't want to cross the Texas border again this season, Cam. It really hasn't been good for them since they've come over to the state of Texas. 2 other times this season, they lost to Fort Worth, and they last time a couple of weeks ago lost to Lone Star, only scoring 3 points in that game. So maybe the third time will be a charm today, and it all starts with Eric Price, the quarterback over there. I was going to say young quarterback, but 4th season in the league now. But he's one of the top, quarterbacks in the league as far as QBR goes, and And a lot of that helps with the balance of Bailey O'Shaughnessy, the running back, 9 touchdowns on the ground. So a combination of both. It's going to be tough for Houston to try to shut these guys down totally. Denver's going to want to control the ball. Houston has one of the lower third down efficiencies on defense this season. So it's going to be a battle of the defense against this efficient offense of Denver.
They grow up so fast, Mike. Fourth season for Price. O.J. Bruin, he's got to grow up today in a big spot for Queen City if they want to take down the visiting Lycans. 3-5 LA, 3-5 Queen City comes your way next year on Next Level Sports as the fight for the playoffs truly begins. The final month of Season 19's regular season continues next on Next Level Sports. Don't go anywhere.
Next Level Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
We have reached the business end of this SFL season. It's time for teams currently on the outside looking into the playoff picture to get a move on and string some wins together to be back in the mix. For the Queen City Corsairs and the Los Angeles Lycans, they know from last season a 6-6 record is not enough to make the dance. And with both teams sitting at 3-5, today might as well be a knockout game. Who keeps their playoff hopes alive? Lycans and Corsairs, next on Next Level Sports. From Conpro Field here in Buffalo, New York, welcome along to this pivotal Week 11 clash. Tyler Falk alongside Aaron Alexander. Hear me in the booth. We welcome you to Buffalo, New York. Partner, the atmosphere here in Conpro is electric. With so much at stake, one or two players can make the difference. Who makes an impact tonight?
I could definitely see a couple players on both sides of the ball for both teams making a difference. For Queen City, the likes of quarterback Sully Richardson, currently the second least intercepted quarterback in the SFL. Of course, the defensive tackle Gary Marks, who sits fifth in sacks. The Lycans as a team sit third in sacks as a unit. Over on the Queen City side, Doug Spelling, the second most targeted receiver behind Gunnar Lewis of San Diego, and King Jamal, the strong safety, who's been all over the field this season. He currently sits third in total tackles with 90.
Speaking of all over the field, our aerial coverage of today's game is provided by Dags Droneworks Aerial Photography and Videography Services for real estate, events, marketing, and more. Learn more at dagsdroneworks.com. as it will be the Lycans to kick off to Queen City to begin this Week 11 contest where playoff hopes and dreams lie on the horizon with a victory. Adrian Ellis back deep to return for the Corsairs as Sid O'Lindy will kick us off as here we go from Buffalo. Ellis on the return near his own 2-yard line, tries to make his headway up the near sideline, following his blockers up to the 27-yard line. That is where he'll be taken down, and on comes the Queen City Corsairs offense, led by their signal caller, O.J. Bruin.
Yeah, it's been an interesting time this season for Queen City. They've been struggling a bit on the offensive side of the ball, especially with actually hitting the end zone. They're currently 26th in points per game at 19.8.
Bruin did not have a good week last week versus London across the pond through 4 interceptions in the loss. His first pass is a good one. He slings it over the middle for the tight end, James Matthew Jr., for a pickup of 11 and an immediate first down.
Yeah, James Matthew Jr. was the favorite target in that game last week against London. He had 10 catches for 154 yards and a touchdown. So we'll probably see a lot of tight end usage by Queen City here in this one as well.
That was the only touchdown that the Corsairs would score in that game last week. Final was 44-13 in the favor of London, who are currently now the only unbeaten team after Minnesota took down the unbeaten champs Baltimore in Minnesota, as Jet Zero gets a swing pass near side, and that will get him back to the sticks.
Yeah, Jet Zero, despite this team kind of running around Zero offensively, really struggled in that game against London. Only 8 carries for 20 yards, 5 receptions for 9. Very slow game for him last week.
Bruin going to look to throw, looking for James Matthew Jr. again, and then this time it's picked off. One play, it works. That same play again doesn't work. Coming up with the interception is the cornerback Mike Scott.
Yeah, and Mike Scott has been a great piece of this Los Angeles defense. That his 5th interception on the season. He currently leads the Lycans now with that interception in picks. And LA now with great field position to start their first drive after that interception.
Will be Sully Richardson, and the LA faithful have a saying, Richardson giveth and taketh away, but he's been pretty good on the giveth away so over this season. He's only second in terms of interceptions thrown. In terms of sack, though, they're one of the worst teams this season, and he goes down on the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, it was Frank Stackhouse, the big defensive tackle, coming up with that one. That his 4th sack on the season.
14 total sacks this season on Sully Richardson. Puts him right around 10th in the league as the pass outside left side is a good pitch and catch for Logan Jack, who gets up all the yardage lost and a couple extra. He'll be 3rd and 7 on the horizon.
Yeah, the new acquisition coming over in the offseason from Carolina has led LA in more of a run-focused offense, similar to that of the undefeated London Knights. Logan Jack currently 4th in carries. Meanwhile, Sully Richardson currently sits last in completions, attempts, and passing yards so far this season.
Richardson pumps once, now looking deep shot over the middle, and it's picked off! And the Corsairs have a turnover of their own, and they'll get back up to the 30-yard line as the Corsairs return the favor.
Yeah, that was Greg Gaines, another new free agent coming over from Jacksonville in the offseason. One of quite a few free agent acquisitions for this Queen City defense. He picks up interception number 9 on the season. He was tied with teammate Ted Haynes to lead this team in picks. He now takes the solo lead with 8.
Oh, here come the Corsairs. Both teams trading interceptions on their first drive of the ball game. Bruin's going to look to throw, looking outside, and he nearly gives it right back. Jack Hacksaw in on the cover to swat this one away, and that will give us time to introduce you to the Queen City offense. We've talked about O.J. Bruin. He's the quarterback. Jet Zero is the halfback, with Adrian Ellis, William McDowell, Doug Spelling, and Deezer Powell making up the wide receiving corps. James Matthew Jr. and Stephen McMichaels at tight end. On the line, on the left guard and left tackle, it's Robert Cron and Robert Vale leading their men in the trenches. As O.J. Bruin will go back into the gun, backs to his left and right with 2 wide receivers. Bruin's going to look to throw over the middle into traffic. It's picked off for the second straight drive. And the Lycans, again, it's Rochelle Colston coming up with this interception.
Yeah, and Rochelle Colston has been a very consistent piece for this Lycans defense. That now her 4th interception on the season. And it's already been just a back and forth ball game. Now 3 interceptions between these two teams. We're barely 3 minutes in, Tyler.
Both teams are becoming increasingly wasteful. Here in the opening minutes, let's hope that everything calms down as they try and get the stuff going, but it's fumbled, and it's going to be the Corsairs who jump on it. A late hit flag comes in, but it won't matter as it's the 4th turnover inside of 4 minutes.
Yeah, and I believe that may have been Alvarado, the rookie outside linebacker, that gets that will get credit for the forced fumble. Sully Richardson, the quarterback, gets the penalty flag on the late hit.
How often do you see that? A quarterback getting a late hit penalty.
I think Sully Richardson just trying to let out a bit of anger over the fact that his team's now turned the ball over twice with excellent field position, and now we're going to see O.J. Bruin again for Queen City's 3rd drive. We're not even 5 minutes into the ball game.
And they will start for the first time in the ball game inside of plus territory. From the Los Angeles 48, Bruin looking over the middle. This time it's caught, and this time they're able to move the sticks for only their 2nd first down of the ball game. And it's the only man to receive a pass outside of Jet 0 for the Corsairs. It's Matthew Jr. again.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, we're probably going to see a lot of passes from O.J. Bruin into the hands of James Matthew Jr. The tight end has been the favorite receiving target of O.J. Bruin as far as total receptions, especially after that game against London, though he tends to target Doug Spelling, the wide receiver, more often.
Looks like another passing play here for the Corsairs. Deep shot, right side, one-handed grab by Doug Spelling inside the 10 down to the Los Angeles 8.
And I think passes like there kind of give you an insight into why O.J. Bruin likes throwing to Doug Spelling so much. Spelling gets a bit of separation from Jack Hacksaw there, and O.J. Bruin just gets the perfect touch on it to get it over the safety convert's head and into the hands of his favorite target, Doug Spelling, who now puts Queen City into the LA red zone.
I'll go with 0 up the middle. His first carry of the ball game is going to go nowhere as he's flipped at the line of scrimmage by the defensive tackle, John Nevels.
Yeah, John Nevels, another one of the few free agent acquisitions coming over to LA, another Skyhawk transfer. One of 3, of course, Logan Jack on the offensive side, and Chad Stinson, the outside linebacker.
Looks into the end zone, and that is picked off again. And it's Rochelle Colston again, her 2nd pick in 5 minutes. 5 turnovers to begin the ball game. No one wants to keep the football.
Yeah, I don't have any comments anymore at this point. It has just been a turnover fiesta. Every single drive so far for both of these teams has ended in a turnover, and they, save for that last drive by Queen City, have maybe been a play or two before these turnovers happen. It's wild here in Buffalo.
Richardson, swing pass left side, caught by Jack, going nowhere, stopped at the line.
Yeah, that one by the rookie Matthew Alvarado, the outside linebacker. And Alvarado's been having a great rookie season. Coming to this game, 50 tackles, 8 TFLs, 4 pass deflections, and an interception, which for a linebacker in this league is absolutely fantastic.
Bump coverage down the outside here on 2nd and 10. A stretch play near side for Jack, read extremely well by the linebacker, Kappa Jones. He shoots through the gap and takes down Jack for a loss of 3.
Yeah, Jones combined with Sabolka on the hit there. I believe Richardson might have been trying to set up a screen pass, but decided that the play was just going to be blown up anyways, decided to hand the ball off.
3rd and long. Richardson takes a quick drop pass over the middle. It is caught short of the first down. So the first time today, it will be a punt that changes possession, not an interception.
Yeah, unfortunately, Chris Lee not able to get the necessary yardage to cross the first down marker. He would have had it had the Lycans been at the original line of scrimmage. And said that TFL by Cebulka and Jones going to force LA to punt this ball away.
Well, if there's any positive to take out of that drive, it's that the Lycans were able to keep control of the football for all 3 downs. They punted away for Adrian Ellis, who calls for a fair catch at his own 40-yard line. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. Bruin's going to look to throw on first down. Right side caught by the tight end, Matthew Jr. Good enough for a first down to the 40-yard line.
That was actually the second tight end, Stephen McMichaels, on the grab there. Queen City loves their tight end play. They're running 2 tight ends for this exact reason. This time, it's the second tight end, McMichaels, getting his first grab. That one good for 12.
They flipped the formation on me, partner, and it seems I missed that. Appreciate you catching
It
that.
happens. It happens.
And it's a new set of downs here on first down here for the Corsairs inside LA territory. Bruin rolls, now fires out to Jet Zero underneath, and Zero has to do a lot of work and fight for a couple extra yards. Gets 3 all told. And we'll introduce you to the LA defense. Brogan Spira, John Nevels, Ace Blackwell, and Gary Marks make up one of the top 3 defenses in terms of sacks and tackles for loss this season. Tazzy Blackwell, Chad Stinson, and Buddy Blaze are the linebackers. Mike Scott, Jack Hacksaw, and TD Jack are the corners. Jill Colston, Ryan Yosef, and Ryan Kruster at the safety spots. Here goes Jet Zero on another run, this time only 3 yards. It'll be 3rd and short upcoming for the Corsairs.
Yeah, Jet Zero is starting to get a little more work on the ground, which I think is the right call by this Queen City team, considering how often OJ Bruin has already been picked off in this game.
Seems like everything is calming down, partner.
I don't say that. Don't jinx it.
As Bruin goes back into the gun all by himself with 3 wide receivers, 1 tucked in tight to the line. Bruin looks to throw underneath. That one is caught by Matthew Jr., and that's another first down for the Corsairs.
Yeah, Queen City goes into a bit of a running back flex there, pushing Jet Zero into sort of a tight end position on the line. Ends up going to, of course, James Matthew Jr., the actual tight end. They're going to go tight end flex again here.
Tight end flex with a bunch set toward the near side as Bruin's going to look to throw over the middle, and Beezer Powell comes up with a catch and hit immediately. He paid the price for going over the middle, but he picks up 6 yards for his troubles.
Now, I'm scared to mention this, Tyler, but I think we finally are seeing for just the second time today, an actual cohesive drive between these 2 teams.
Maybe
of course,
we'll keep drive going for just a little bit as Bruin back to throw, steps up into the pocket. He slings it off his back foot before he crossed the line of scrimmage. They're going to say that Edward Teach, the fullback, was out of bounds. It's an incomplete pass, bringing up 3rd down.
Run the ball, OJ. Come on. You had the opening. I'm honestly surprised he didn't and instead opted to throw across his body to his fullback. Like, I can respect throwing to the fullback, but just run the ball.
Well, he will look to throw this time as Los Angeles send the blitz. It's a pass that is incomplete, possibly dropped by Powell, but on comes the field goal unit for Queen City. We might see our first points of the ball game.
Yeah, I think that one hit off of the shoulder of Deezer Powell. I think Bruin caving a bit to the pressure by this front 4 of Los Angeles. But you're right, we could see points on the board. But with how this SFL season has been, this could very easily be a field goal block too. Who knows?
This one will be from 43 yards out from the right hash. Here for Judah Dorgan one of the best kickers in the SFL. Snap spot. Kick is up, and it is good from Judah, and Queen City's on the board. It's an early 3-0 lead as we approach the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, finally we see both teams kind of settle down a little bit after the opening craziness of this ball game. Queen City finally puts points on the board. It's not the touchdown they may have wanted, but it is a lead in this game nonetheless for the Corsairs. A great drive by OJ Bruin and company, and we'll see if LA is able to answer.
It's points in nearing the playoffs. Here in just a few weeks' time, any points will be at a premium. As the Shea Carroll takes the return from his own end zone, he gets up to the 21-yard line. On comes Sully Richardson and company. Try and start another drive. They punted on the last drive.
Yeah, and LA has a bit of an interesting offensive philosophy. They're only running 3 receivers and 1 tight end, opting to instead run 3 offensive linemen in Jamarcus Candy, Vladimir Dunham, and Bob Dunham.
Richardson looking over the middle. That one is caught near the logo to the 44-yard line. Goes Jack Flash.
Yeah, jumping Jack Flash, you could say. And I thought he might have crossed a milestone with that one. It seems I may have been mistaken.
Nonetheless, a whole bunch of yards here for the Lycans. That'll set them up with their first down on their first play of their drive. That'll get them in pretty good field position to keep this drive going.
Yeah, a great opening shot to the tight end, though. Definitely what LA needed to start this drive.
Looks like he's taking a breather as LA come out with 5 wide receivers here. Richardson rolls to his left, fires over the middle, and it's nearly picked up by Amar Bryant Jr. Richardson's going to be happy to have that one back. As let's introduce you to that LA offense. We've talked about Richardson, the quarterback. Logan Jack is the halfback with Tommy Rahman, the fullback. LZ Pryor, Chris Lee, and Shea Carroll make up the wideouts with Jack Flash, the tight end. And those 3 linemen who you mentioned early, partner, Vladimir Dunham, Jamarcus Candy, and Bob Dunham. Linebacker showing blitz here on second down as the Lycans will run left side with Jack, nothing doing. Andre Krim, the Krim Reaper, comes up with another tackle for loss on this season.
Yeah, Krim brought out the scythe and brought it down hard on Logan Jack that time. And Logan Jack has had -7 rushing yards so far, so not a great opening quarter for him. This front 4 of Queen City has been holding the halfback in check so far.
They're trying to make LA go one-dimensional, and they're going to have to pass for the first down. It's a crossing route over the logo inside Queen City territory, but a couple yards shy of the first down. LZ Pryor not able to extend the drive, and out comes the punting unit for the Lycans.
Yeah, another case where if LA was at the original line of scrimmage, they may have gotten that first down marker. Unfortunately, they're going to have to punt it away again, but at least they were able to get the line of scrimmage to Queen City's side of the field.
Grace's punt is a good one. Adrian Ellis unable to make a decent return out of it as he's taken down at the 17-yard line. That'll bring Queen City's offense back out for another drive as OJ Bruin helped lead his guys on a decent drive. Longest drive of the football game to this point. That ultimately resulted in their first points of the game.
Yeah, definitely want to see LA's defense really step up big here. Maybe force a 3 and out to end the quarter here.
Last drive, an 8-play drive. We'll see if they can echo last drive with another good one. As Jet Zero breaking off a couple of tackles, has to be tag team or to bring him down. He gains 8.
Yeah, and I think we may be starting to see the Jet Zero that we would have wanted to see last week against London. LA, though, very, very good against the rush this season. They've only allowed 8 rushing touchdowns, good for 11th in the league.
Pass right side. It is caught near the 24-yard line. Another first down for Queen City. That one hauled in by Deezer Powell as that'll bring us to the end of a pretty crazy first quarter. It's the Queen City Corsairs 3, Los Angeles Lycans. We'll be right back. You're watching the SFL on Next Level Sports. Welcome back to Compro Field. Tyler Falk alongside Aaron Alexander. Happy to have your company here in this Week 11 contest. It's the Corsairs up by 3. They have the ball coming out of the 2-minute break. Los Angeles stacking the line here as Jet Zero gets the call through the middle. Defenders draped all over him. Only a short pickup of 4 yards. Jet Zero just bulldozing his way through traffic.
Yeah, I think LA would have benefited from having the linebackers more center of the field in the box as opposed to showing blitz on the line like they were. But a great run nonetheless by Jet Zero. Of course, the linemen doing their job excellently.
Pass over the middle. It's a linebacker doing their job. It's Tazzy Blackwell coming up with the pass deflection.
Yeah, Tazzy Blackwell has had a pretty good season so far. 67 tackles, 5 TFLs, now 5 pass deflections on the season. So a great season so far for her, the sophomore for this Lycans defense. One of a handful here.
3rd and 6 now here for the Corsairs on their own 39. Bruin looking for a deep shot left side, deflected. A timely deflection by Rochelle Colston. Could have had her hat trick of INTs, but they'll take a 3 and out.
Yeah, that one intended for a deep James Matthew Jr., the tight end. Had a bit of separation. Unfortunately, the timing of the throw by OJ Bruin allowed Rochelle Colston to get a great read on this ball to knock it away. Is going to force the 3 and out. Queen City not able to get into LA territory on this drive, but exactly what this Lycans defense needed to start the second quarter.
3 and out coming out of the break. In total, that drive would be 6 plays, only 22 yards. And now it results in another Queen City punt from Greg Morrison as Shea Carroll will call for a fair catch on his own 25-yard line. That is where LA will take over. The SFL produces over 400 live events each year, but don't miss community content creators and their creations. Catch SFL Nights with AJ Stryker, Say It With Your Chest, Around the SFL, and more, covering Season 19 and beyond. Check out archive versions of community shows. Visit simulationfl.net. and click the logo of your favorite form of SFL entertainment on our homepage. Sully Richardson's going to be back to throw, right side of the corner route, caught. First down and more from Sully Richardson. He hooks up with Chris Lee. Check that, Jack Flash, the tight end.
What an absolute beautiful grab by Jack Flash on this one. Mike Jones just played a bit soft on coverage. A great post route, though, by Flash. Gets a LA first down, just 8 yards from midfield.
After the nice catch by the tight end, he's off the field here on this play as they hand off for Logan Jack near side as he gets turned around roughly after a 4-yard pickup.
Yeah, finally some positive yardage for Logan Jack. He's still got negative yards on the day. Currently -3 unofficially. Shout out to Justin Reside and William Crowder in the stats truck for us for that information.
Always great to have our statisticians along us. Thank you to those two gentlemen. 2nd and 6. Richardson. Deep shot. Again, another quarter out. Another catch for the Lycans. And they're down inside the 30-yard line, down to the 26. They go with Shea Carroll, the recipient of that nice arcing spiral from Sully Richardson.
Yeah, with that Shea Carroll grab, Sully Richardson has now hit all of his star targets. Shea Carroll, the 10-season veteran coming over in the offseason from Jacksonville, has had a decent season so far here with the Lycans. Gets his first grab of the ball game, good for 32 yards.
And looking to throw again, right side. I believe that's the tight end. Flash again, this time picking up 6 as he busted out of bounds.
Yeah, Jack Flash starting to become a favorite target in this game for Sully Richardson. Was a bit quiet in the game last week against Portland, only 3 grabs for 28 yards. He's almost doubled his yardage on the same amount of catches in this ball game. Currently sits for 3 for 3 with just under 50 yards in this one.
Back set with 3 wide receivers. Richardson to throw again, swings it out near side for Jack as Jack hits the afterburners and picks up the first down before he's hit at the 17.
Yeah, surprisingly, that just Logan Jack's second reception of the day. Good enough for first down yardage and is going to put the Lycans in the Queen City red zone for the first time today.
Now come out with 4 wide receivers. Trips to Richardson's left. All slant pattern over the middle. That is caught near the first down marker. It's a 9.5-yard pickup to Cameron Longshot, the 4th-string wide receiver.
Yeah, the backup receiver gets his name called for the first time in this ball game. That one good for 9. A real short yardage situation now for Los Angeles. Another set of downs potentially before hitting the end zone if they need it here.
Heavy set. Here comes Jack. Right side. Has a lane, and there he goes. Touchdown, Los Angeles, on a nice stretch play to the right-hand side.
Yeah, of course, LA not going to need it as Logan Jack finally gets to the positive yardage on the stat sheet. That one good for 8 yards. And the touchdown going to give LA the lead for the first time in this ball game.
That run could not have happened, partner, without the fullback Tommy Rahman laying the lumber on the outside.
Yeah, Tommy Rahman, one of the better blocking fullbacks in this league. A great job by him. And again, some much needed points on the board here for the Lycans, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. And potentially their hunt for a division title as well.
That Pacific Division really tight spread. Is we thought a lot of SFL pundits at the beginning of the season thought Vancouver would run away with the division again, but they've suffered a couple of setbacks the Legion have that finds them at 5-4. So even Portland and LA, both sit at 3-5 coming into this week, have a shot to take the first division title in division history as the return from Adrian Ellis nearly busted all the way to the end zone. A clutch tackle at the 41-yard line stops the excellent return.
Yeah, and I believe that was the kicker Olindi with the hit. Of course, I could be mistaken. No, it was Olindy with a beautiful touchdown saving hit on Adrian Ellis. It is going to set Queen City up with great field position on their own 41-yard line.
Put that guy on the defense every once in a while. Got off his block nicely and laid a bone-shattering hit on Ellis, as now the Corsairs look to keep matters going. They go right back to Deezer Powell for first down catch to the 45-yard line, pick up a 13.
Yeah, a little bit of a slant pattern there by Deezer Powell. The Lycans defensive zone a bit soft on that slant there. Buddy Blaze looking a little bit lost, I think, on coverage on that one's going to allow Queen City their first down of the drive. Also going to put Queen City into LA territory.
Shotgun look here for the Corsairs. Bruin under pressure, and he's thrown down at the logo. Ace Blackwell shoots through, finally getting to the quarterback.
Yeah, Ace Blackwell, a mid-season pickup a couple of seasons ago by this LA Lycans team, and he's had a great third season here with the Los Angeles Lycans.
Second and 15 now from midfield after the 5-yard loss on the sack. Bruin, deep shot, left side, it is tipped and incomplete. Powell couldn't find it after the deflection, and it falls to the turf.
Yeah, a great coverage by the cornerback Mike Scott. Mike Scott on that one, looking for his second interception. Not able to get it on that one, but does knock it away. Going to bring up a long third down here for the Corsairs.
Bump coverage in the left-hand side, offside coming. They'll go with a swing pass near side for Jet Zero. They'll pick up a couple, maybe 7 yards, but they'll possibly have another chance to go at it again after the penalty.
Yeah, I think they're going to accept this penalty, take the second chance at third down. I believe this is going to make it 3rd and 10. That penalty called on Josh Neville's the defensive tackle, a bit antsy in the middle there.
So the Corsairs on third down and able to convert. However, the penalty keeps the drive alive. It'll be 3rd and 10 here for the Corsairs on the LA 45. And it's another offside penalty coming. Bruin under pressure, slingshot over the middle, and the penalty this time won't matter as the Corsairs convert with Stephen McMichaels on the crossing route.
Yeah, this time it looked like it was Ace Blackwell, the defensive end. Another just a bit too antsy on the line, as McMichael's going to get the grab that is going to give Queen City this first down. Is going to cause that declined penalty.
Couple of unforced errors in those penalties give Queen City a little bit of life and will infuse new life into this drive. First down and 10 from the 31 of LA. OJ Bruin back in the gun. Looking to throw over the middle. That is caught behind the first line of defense. And the linebackers playing right up close to the line, the 5-yard zone. Bruin finds Powell. First down, Corsairs.
Yeah, and I think it's just another case of a bad coverage call by LA by stacking the linebackers on the line to show blitz. And Queen City makes them pay for it with a nice 10-yard reception in the hands of Deezer Powell.
Close to the 5-minute mark here in the second quarter. Zero bouncing off of tacklers. Eventually taken down after a pickup of 3 at the 16-yard line. Taking him down was Mike Scott and company.
Yeah, and Mike Scott has been doing all kinds of work so far in this one. Couple of tackles to his name, the pass deflection earlier and the interception earlier in the first quarter. Been a great piece for this LA defense.
Bruin, quick drop, floats it near side. That's first down and more. Inside the 5-yard line goes James Matthews Jr. and it'll be first and goal when we come back. Los Angeles 7, and they have the lead, but for how much longer? You're watching SFL football on Next Level Sports. Bruins going to look to throw. Pumps once, under pressure. Down he goes behind the line. Another sack for this LA defense. And it's second and goal outside the 10-yard line as getting into the backfield is Buddy Blaze, the outside linebacker.
Yeah, I kind of criticized them a bit with these linebackers showing blitz. That time, though, it works out in favor of the Lycans as Buddy Blaze gets a huge sack to push back this Corsairs offense to the 13.
And off zero near side. Has to break out of a tackle, and he does, but could not shake off the second tackler. It's Blaze again on back-to-back plays coming up with a tackle.
Yeah, you got to give credit, though, to Robert Cron, if I remember correctly, the left guard coming out to try and get a couple of blocks. Unfortunately, not fast enough to get to the seal block he needed to allow Zero into the end
looking
zone.
left side, near the end zone, but taken down just shy. No touchdown today. Tackled 2 yards shy as Queen City try to go to Samuel Axe, the third-string tight end, but they're denied the touchdown.
Yeah, Queen City, though, showing it their depth here. We are going to see Judah Jorgen come on to try and make this a one-point ball game. Basically an extra point here for Jorgen.
This one from 18 from the left hash. Snap spot, kick is up. Judah Dorgan is 2 for 2 today. It's 7-6. Los Angeles with a 1-point advantage. The SFL Weekly Fantasy Contest is officially up and running. Think you can draft the best team every week while staying under the salary cap? Or maybe you just want to enhance your SFL experience. Free to play, no season-long commitment, and a new contest opens every week on Tuesday night. Join now and show off your fantasy skills to the rest of the league. Contact Jack Wall, Stephen Hacker, or Hunter Norwood to join today. Turn, Rashir Carroll is going to come to the near side, but taken down at the 23. a pretty decent return for Shea Carroll, and out comes the LA offense.
Yeah, speaking of fantasy, by the way, make sure you pick Jason Williams for your halfback and Louisiana's defense.
So you're trying to shout out both my team and your team at the same time. Mike Ryan, the player that I am an agent for, so to speak. For
Definitely.
Louisiana. And of course, your Fort Worth Toros are sneakily good this season. But
Listen,
maybe we'll see what happens. Maybe Logan Jack can bust off maybe a couple extra yards. That'll put him back in the positive and get some positive yards for your fantasy team if you had Logan Jack on your squad this week. It's a first down for LA.
yeah, great job by Logan Jack on that one. Speaking of sneakily good Fort Worth, credit to their GM. Been doing a good job, as well as the rest of that Fort Worth front office.
Okay, partner. Now I think you're just pandering yourself just a little bit too much.
Maybe a little. Let me have this, all right? I don't get to do this very often.
And that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. Lycans have the ball and a chance to re-extend their lead here in Buffalo, New York. You're watching the SFL presented by EPM Music on NXT. Tyler Falk and Aaron Alexander welcome you back to Compro Field. LA with the ball. Richardson with the pass. Near side on the sideline. Catching it and stepping out of bounds is Chris Lee.
Pretty sure Chris Lee just leveled a guy on the Queen City bench there too.
Oh, with all that forward momentum that is all coming with a hard-charging wide receiver like Chris Lee. Got to get out of his way every once in a while. But Chris Lee, one of the most underrated wide receivers I think that the SFL has. Chris Lee showing off his route running skills on the last play as Richardson looking over to the right side on the corner route. That one is fallen incomplete as that corner route has been working for LA, but not this time as we shoot it back for the first time this afternoon to the SFL headquarters in Cameron Irvine, who has a game update from Texas.
Thank you, Tyler. Houston's off to a fast start, Mike.
Yeah, Cam, you see Dave Bird drop back right here and finds, who is that? That's number 19 going down the sideline, 74 yards, touchdown. Houston goes up 7-3 in the first.
It's Mike St. Green, and DR Sim just tacked on another 14-3. Houston over Denver. Back to Tyler and Aaron in Buffalo.
Thanks, Cam. MSG finding more than one way to get on today's action as the pass over the middle goes to long shot to pick up a 9 for the Lycans.
Yeah, got absolutely leveled after the catch there. Queen City doing a good job so far of containing most of this LA team.
Jack with a nice spin move. Another nice spin move from Logan Jack, and that'll put them deep inside Queen City territory.
Yeah, Logan Jack making up for his earlier woes in the running game. Gets a big pickup there. Gonna reset the down marker here for the Lycans. Putting together a solid drive.
Has really come alive here in this second quarter. Already surpassing his counterpart Jet Zero in terms of yards. Richardson gonna look back to Jack on the swing pass. Another spin move for Logan Jack, making the defense look silly. He eventually picks up 4, and LA go into the hurry up.
Somebody check that LA sideline. Make sure nobody's throwing up a picture of a washing machine here.
Pass to the side, and almost another spin cycle for a member of the LA offense. Jay Carroll will pick up the first down, and Los Angeles will take their first time out.
Yeah, I think LA wants to try and extend their lead a bit further going into halftime. They do get the ball back at the half as well. So some smart clock management here by this LA Lycans coaching staff.
First and 10 now here for the Lycans on the 27. Richardson, quick drop, looking over the middle, picked off, going the other way. Greg Gaines keeps the pick party alive. Haven't seen an interception since the opening minutes of the ball game, but Greg Gaines undercuts the route and takes it away.
Yeah, Greg Gaines picks up his second interception on the day. Is going to shut that LA drive down. Queen City going to have some pretty decent field position for this drive, starting at the 26. 32 seconds left. They do still have all 3 timeouts. Could see O.J. Bruin take some deep shots downfield to the like of Doug Spelling and Deezer Powell.
Bruin, deep shot, near side. It is caught down the sideline and tackled at the 40-yard line. They hooked up with Doug Spelling for a huge bomb to open up their drive, and here they come back to the line.
Called it.
Here they come, back into the gun with 3 wideouts. Bruin going to look to throw this time near side. One-handed snag from Adrian Ellis at the 36. Queen City quickly to call a timeout with 12 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, and a bit of surprise, that just Adrian Ellis's first target on the day. Is able to get the reception, good for a quick 4 yards. Queen City going to have to call their first timeout, though, with 12 seconds left. They are going to shoot for the field goal here, which is a bit interesting. Going to be a deep one, though.
You have 2 timeouts. You could elect to try and get closer for Judah Dorgan. This one from 53.5. Tap is good, kick is short, and the score remains at a 1-point advantage in favor of the Lycans.
Definitely thought that one was a bit further. I had that clocked at 57, but still not enough leg. Maybe a yard or 2 closer, they may have got that one. They do they turn the ball over here? They do.
On a missed field goal, ball possession flips to the other sideline, and so LA will have a chance to send up a prayer.
And things I've learned today.
Here comes Richardson, has time, and he is hit as he throws. It falls to the turf with 3 seconds to go. Stackhouse piling on the pressure on Richardson, but LA have a second chance.
Yeah, Sully Richardson looked like he was going for it all there. Frank Stackhouse, though, stopped it as Richardson was stepping into that throw. It's going to bring up second down. Probably another deep shot here from Richardson. Maybe a Hail Mary. They are in the formation for it.
This, more than likely, the final play of the half. Richardson again back deep to throw. This time under considerable amount of more pressure, and he will go down again as it's William Kidd coming up with a sack, and that will conclude matters here in the first half. We will send you to SFL headquarters with Cameron Mike to break down what just happened here in Buffalo, New York. He'll also take you on a ride of what happened in Texas. For now, we'll see you after the break. This is the SFL on Next Level Sports.
Welcome to the APM Music Halftime Report. Along with Mike St. Green, I'm Cameron Irvine. And Los Angeles has a 7-6 lead against the Queen City Corsairs in what has been, quite frankly, Mike, a messy first half as these two teams try and get their fourth win of the season.
Yeah, messy indeed, Cam. The first 5 possessions of the game resulted in turnovers, and then Greg Gaines pretty much closed it out for the most part with a turnover. 3 turnovers apiece. Neither team has really been able to take advantage of that. Los Angeles, they've been having trouble getting things going on the ground, even though Logan Jack did have a touchdown run. And Queen City, they've been persistent in trying to get things done through the air. Jet Zero's very little of him in the first half, and as we results of that is a 7-6 ball game.
Yeah, I think it was said in our community chat earlier, the team that can figure out the run game in the second half is probably going to have success and victory. Logan Jack, 10 yards on 7 carries. Jet Zero, not much better, 22 yards on 6 carries. It's been tough sledding for these offenses today, but still a competitive, good game. 7-6, LA on top of Queen City. Let's get right into it. The best of Friday nights in the SFL. Around the league, we pick up Indy and Charleston in the third quarter. That's Christopher Ochoa from Kentez Johnson, and Charleston takes the lead.
Yeah, nice pass there from Kentez. It's been a tight ball game, tied up at half, and he finds Ochoa there for the touchdown to put the Predators ahead.
Two teams on the outside looking in. Indy just trying to play spoiler. 3rd down and 4. Brad Jones, this was one of the best plays of the night. Makes one man miss, then breaks a tackle, gets some key blocks down the sideline, and he was nearly gone there, Mike.
Yeah, great catch and run there by Brad Jones. 2nd season in the league, man. He's really proven himself to be one of the better backs in the league right now.
Jones and Swearingen, for the most part, were dueling last night, but both actually finished under 100 yards rushing as the defenses came to play in this one as well. Indy had to settle for a field goal on that drive. That was the theme of the second half. 4th and 3 with a minute to go. Indy down 4, and Colin Pierce trying to convert, and it's knocked away by Ricky Thornton, and Charleston keeps their very slim playoff hopes alive. They improve to 3-6, and the Ramblers drop to 2-8. They have lost a bunch of close games recently. They lost by 5 to Minnesota last week. It's been tough sledding for them. Lone Star Jacksonville pick it up in the fourth quarter, 21-20, and Ike McBride puts Lone Star on top, 27-21. But this game was just getting started. Before this drive, Mike, Jared Willis, the running back for Jacksonville, had 15 yards on 7 carries, but Jacksonville started cooking late. That pass, Jordan Sipe to Kingston Ellington. And then Sipe going to give it off to Willis with 4:10 to go in the fourth quarter. And Jared Willis makes a couple miss and breaks a tackle and is gone. And Jacksonville takes the lead despite just one win on the season, Mike.
Yeah, Jacksonville, they're always dangerous if you can get this type of production from Jared Willis. And we saw it right there, and they were up with a lead late in the ball game.
So 28-27, Lone Star getting a little nervous. I remember them playing San Diego in overtime late in the season. They've had some trouble late in the season with teams that are outside looking into the playoffs, and Jared Willis is gone again. Now it's 35-27. But Mike, they gave him too much time. Look at this, 20 seconds to go. 3rd and goal from the 3. Lone Star drives all the way down the field and scores. B. Robo on the spot route makes it 35-33. Now they're going for 2. What are they going to do, Mike?
Well, they definitely should be going for 2 right here, but Lone Star, they've done a lot of this all season long. They had a double-digit comeback against Atlanta as well as Houston, and we seeing them come back late in the game here down by a couple of scores.
Give it to the man that scored a touchdown earlier in the game, the fullback, Mateo Privado. Gets in for fullbacks everywhere, and we're tied and going to overtime in Florida. 9 minutes to go in OT. Sipe deep down the middle. It is tipped away by Rain Rie, and Bo Martin Jr. comes away with his 2nd pick of the night. Now to get into field goal range, Ace Fenix, 40th completion of the night. 38th, rather. He finished 40 for 48. And then it's Fenix for the winner. Nearly double overtime in this one, Mike, from 35 yards away. The Lone Stars kick, You bet. Jacksonville's struggles continue. They fall to 1-8. Lone Star survives, and they keep the South messy at 5-4. Vegas at San Diego in the third quarter. These two star wide receivers started showing up. Liam Hammer leads the SFL in receiving yards. Mason Kirby, second for Vegas. We'll see more from him in just a second. Hammer with the touchdown there after his previous long catch ended up in a field goal. 30-21. San Diego now late in the third quarter, and Scar Patterson is ready for Liam Hammer again. What a ball! One-hander for Hammer down the sideline. This game was wild, Mike.
One thing I know about the San Diego Mavericks, Cam, you won't be disappointed when you see these guys play. They've come on the short, come out on the short end of the stick of a couple of matchups here lately, but they're going to give us excitement until the end of the ball game every week.
Liam Hammer had 328 yards receiving through 3 quarters, but in the fourth, he had 4 yards. Instead, late in the third, it was Bill Cherry. Dynamite. 3 red zone touchdowns in this game, Mike, just vulturing it away from those that had Hammer and Lewis in fantasy. So San Diego, with 9:48 to go in the fourth quarter, is up 37-21, and here comes Mason Kirby. Deep from Joseph Green, and this kid, he's just special. He makes so many big plays, 135 yards up to that point. Green, 1st and 10 at the 35 on the next play. Play fake, deep, down the field. It's Kirby again, Mike.
Yeah, both things we know about both of these teams, Cam, that they like to air it out, and when Las Vegas airs it out, they typically want to look at Mason Kirby's way.
Doug Britton makes a man miss, scores. Vegas elects to kick the extra point, extend the game, 37-28. Green, watch this crazy play. Picked off by San Diego, and Mason Kirby forces the fumble. He does everything. Vegas recovers the fumble and ends up getting a first down on the play. So here comes Vegas again. And it's Green to Kirby down to the 5-yard line. Talk about superstars showing up big for their teams. 2nd to go at the 5, under 4 to go. Green, who else? Kirby in the end zone. It's a 2-point game.
Yeah, we saw some of the better receivers in this league, Cam. Mason Kirby again coming through big, creating a turnover to get him the ball back, and then coming through right there with the touchdown to get him back close.
Green down 2 minutes to go. Deep shot down the field. That's Kirby. The other one was John Blades for the touchdown. Kirby scores, and San Diego blows a 16-point lead and loses at home 42-37, because on this 4th down play from Scar Patterson, his pass is incomplete on 4th and 3, an ugly 4th down conversion. Can't make it happen. Baltimore at Minnesota. The undefeated Vultures at the Northwood Stadium on this night, but Colin Hart would have a big night. 7-7. Baltimore bounces back. Ivory Irvin with the touchdown, and at this point it seems like all's well that ends well for Baltimore. Up 14-7 late in the first half. Intercepted by Derek Meerkat. Don't see that often from Jack Wigmore.
Yeah, one thing about this Minnesota defense, they're ball hawking. They create problems for other teams, and we see right here with a big interception from Meerkat.
They strike back, turn that turnover into points. Johnny Reno hits Buchanan Simons, who just snuck the ball across the pylon, makes it 14-14. Early third quarter, Wigmore picked again. Derek Meerkat's 2nd interception of the night. Minnesota's playing some ball. Colin Hart, 2nd receiving touchdown of the evening. That was the big adjustment of this game. Mike St. Green, the Minnesota legend, get Colin Hart involved in the passing game. Up 21-17. Uh-oh! Touchdown, Johnny Reno to Quag Mam, and all of a sudden, Mike, it is an 11-point Minnesota lead.
Yeah, one thing that you're definitely not accustomed to seeing is the Baltimore Vultures down by double digits, and especially the Minnesota expansion team. They were doing a great job of keeping this Vulture team off balance.
Oh, but Wigmore, what a cannon! Wide open Mac Chima. We see it almost every week, Mike, somehow, some way. And right in this moment, you felt like, oh, here come the Baltimore Vultures. There's no way Minnesota's going to be able to hold on. What a dime.
Yeah, obviously the defending, 2-time champs, they're not going to go away quietly. And then Wigmore, as you mentioned, typically seems like once every game he finds Mac Chima in the end zone.
28-24, but on 4th and 14 with a minute to go, Jack Wigmore dumps it off to Murray. Nobody open downfield. A turnover on downs. That came after Minnesota's 3rd sack of the game. Jack Wigmore had been sacked just 3 times all season coming in, and he would get sacked one more time. Last chance for Baltimore. He goes down. Max Knight with his 2nd of the game. And how about it, Mike? Minnesota pulls the shocker, 28-24 over Baltimore, and that takes us right into our updated playoff standings. Let's pull those up, and yeah, there it is. Well, London, no surprise, they are now in first place after Baltimore loses. You'll notice that Minnesota is up in 10th place. Now behind the Pacific-leading Vancouver Legion. Florida is holding on to the 12 seed, Mike, as the East Division leader. And that's interesting because that means that 2 teams with a winning record currently are outside of the playoff picture. That is Vegas at 5-4, Sioux Falls at 5-4. Canton actually moves back. They play later tonight against Seattle. But 2 teams with a winning record right now outside of the playoffs because Minnesota, Lone Star, and one more 4-4 team last night. Vegas got wins. All got wins Friday evening. Wild.
Yeah, this is going to be an incredible run here the last 2 or 3 weeks leading up to the end of the season. Somebody, may be very disappointed and it may have a really big argument once, we reached week 14 and see who's in and who's out. But let's just focus on this Minnesota Legend team real quickly. These guys are going to be dangerous if they do happen to get into the playoffs. Obviously, we just saw what they did to Baltimore last night. And then when you talk about the other undefeated London, they really played a very good game over in London when they played them a few weeks ago. Yeah. Held London down pretty much from what they've been doing offensively all season long. Held them to, I think, about 24 points in that game. And probably if not for the 4 or 5 turnovers that Minnesota had in that game, they probably could have pulled out an upset in that one. So the defense plays very well. The offense is efficient enough. And if they can avoid the turnovers and get into the playoffs, man, they can probably give anybody a hard time.
The East Division is nuts. Florida's 4-4. Atlanta's 4-5. Louisiana is right behind them at 3-5. Jacksonville pulling up the rear. But Atlanta plays Louisiana tomorrow. Of course, Florida's beaten both of those teams. So the Storm would really have to have a collapse. But still, this division is just crazy, Mike.
Yeah, no one wants to win it, right, Cam? And it's going to be interesting to see this division more than any other, just because of where all these teams stand right now, 3-5. Actually, Louisiana, they could possibly still win this division. And could something really crazy happen, like a below 500 team win this division, make the playoffs, and then a team with a winning record not make it? So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Someone, if anyone steps up a little bit, they'll definitely take control and win this division. But I'm not sure if anybody's going to do that from what we've seen so far this season.
It would be the first time that any team with a winning record did not make the SFL playoffs. Florida plays Louisiana in the final week of the regular season. If Louisiana wins tomorrow against Atlanta, it would be 4-4, 4-5, 4-6. Atlanta goes on their bye next week, having to see how that all shakes up. And Florida, of course, as we remembered, really humbled Louisiana in week 1, 34-13, but nobody had any game plans. And you hit the reset button when Florida goes to Stack Up Stadium. That could be not only for the division title, Mike, but it could be for the last playoff spot in the SFL, depending upon how that division shakes out. So that's a look at your updated playoff picture. And going back to Minnesota, Mike, the updated team rating poll coming into the week didn't even have Minnesota in the top 14. Where would you put them after that win against Baltimore last night?
Wow, after that win, it'll be interesting. It would be interesting to see as we see that top 7. Like I have some discrepancies in there for myself. I don't know how, the math says that Florida is there. I'm not sure, how maybe Canton or even a Louisiana is there, but they would definitely rise up that list somewhere. Maybe take out of Florida and move them up somewhere in the neighborhood of a 12 or 13. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see, how that formula is made out. But yeah, Minnesota's definitely been playing well above top 14 team.
If you're just joining us, LA leads Queen City 7-6 at the half. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music. Going on in our bonus game here, Mike. They just went to the half. It is 24-3 Houston over Denver, dominating. They actually had a touchdown reversed. That would have been your second today, Mike, but was reversed, turned into a field goal. But still, Houston all over Denver. They just do not have the firepower here today.
Man, they always trying to keep me down, Cam. I don't understand it, but hey, I'll take what I can get. That the Houston offense, the big play has been huge for them in this first half, and that defense, as I mentioned in the pre, that defensive line has played well. Tom Tanner, he actually had a sack early in the game, his first sack actually in a few weeks. So he's added it to his total. And they've been pretty much keeping the Denver Night Wings offense in check and getting big plays from DRSM and MSG. And GP Wells has also been effective on the ground.
Keep you updated on that game throughout the second half of yours. LA 7, Queen City 6 should be a good one. Somebody's got to get to 4-5, tie themselves with Atlanta just on the outside looking in, and to try to make a run deep in the season. Should be a fun second half. Tyler Falk, Aaron Alexander will be back with you after the break. This has been the APM Music Halftime Report, and Mike and I will be back here to wrap this one up after Queen City and LA get things finalized. We'll see you in 2 minutes for the second half kickoff.
Second half of action from Compro Field here in Buffalo, New York, just about set to get back underway. I'm Tyler Falk. Joining me in the booth is Aaron Alexander. We're happy to have your company here for this Week 11 contest in the SFL. Judah Dorgan gets us underway here in the third quarter. Los Angeles' Shea Carroll stands about 2 yards deep in his own end zone, trying to make a decent return. He gets out to the 23-yard line. And partner, It was the turnovers in that first half, right coming out of the gate, so to speak, that really set the tone for this football game. Not a whole lot of offense.
Yeah, it's been a knockout, drag-out brawl, really, between the two defenses here. So far, the Lycans have the swing of the momentum here, but we could see that change here earlier in this second half.
Logan Jack, left side, first play out of the corner. Here goes Logan Jack down the left-hand sideline. He's going to outrace everybody. 77 yards. Touchdown, Los Angeles.
Of course, as soon as I say that LA has the momentum, they get even more of the momentum as Logan Jack goes 77 yards to the house. Nobody able to catch up to him. The closest one there was Mike Jones, the cornerback, but even he couldn't catch up to the absolute burst of speed that Logan Jack had turning the corner. And LA immediately at a halftime not only finds himself the 14-6 lead potentially, but Logan Jack now has almost 100 yards on the ground.
He came, he saw, he conquered coming out of the break. He must have got a shot of adrenaline back in the locker room during the halftime break, as it's the Lycans who come out of the gates firing with a quick strike from Logan Jack. On comes Sid Olindi to try and tack home the extra point. Snap spot, kick is up, and it is good. It's a 14-6 ball game. Los Angeles with the lead.
Yeah, that singular run by Logan Jack surpasses the yardage that he got in that game last week against Portland. And it took him 17 carries to get to that 68-yard mark. This time it just takes a run in the second half.
Just one run. 77 yards. That's a pretty quick drive summary, folks, as Adrian Ellis gets hit started, had a decent return of about 40 yards in that first half. He only gets 25 as we shoot it back to the SFL headquarters. Cam has another update. It seems like Houston's having a party.
Yes, they are, Tyler, and not Logan Jack, not the only one with a long run, Mike.
Yeah, Cam, big plays are the order of the day for the Headhunters. GP Wells takes it off right side, breaks the tackles and outruns everyone else to the end zone. His 17th rushing touchdown of the season. Houston up big, 31-3.
Woo! Back to Tyler and Aaron in a more competitive game in Buffalo.
Thanks, Cam and Mike. Out route right side, 6 yards for O.J. Bruin on his first play of the half. He'll hook up with Deezer Powell for 6.
Yeah, that's a great opening start to this drive by O.J. Bruin. He's had his struggles in that first quarter, throwing 3 interceptions, but he's done a good job to turn it around. He's almost at 200 yards to the air.
Now from the gun, again, Bruin will look to throw. Los Angeles send a blitz. Wide open man in the middle is Deezer Powell, and Powell gets another first down here for Queen City, all the way up to the 43-yard line.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be more James Matthew Jr. and Stephen McMichaels getting a bulk of the work here, but it turns out it's Deezer Powell in this one that's getting a bulk of the catches. He's just under 100 yards now in this one.
18 yards on the last play for Powell as they now go again here on first down. Stepping up is Bruin, and down goes Bruin. It's a loss of 6 as Los Angeles hits home. It's Spura coming in on the right-hand side of that defensive line.
Yeah, Spira, the other side of this young defensive end attack by the LA Lycans, gets his first sack of the ball game. Played a bit second fiddle this season to the slightly bigger Blackwell. But Brogan, a formidable defensive end in his own right here for the Lycans defense.
2nd and 16 after the sack. Bruin looking over the middle, will find the tight end, James Matthew Jr. That's going to pick up 10 yards on the pitch and catch over the middle.
Yeah, McMichael and Bruin doing a good job of eliminating some of the brunt of the loss of yards on that sack. It's going to set up a third medium here for the Corsairs. Still just inside their own territory at the moment.
Matthew Jr. nearing the 50-yard mark in terms of receiving yards today will make it a much more manageable third down as Bruin looks to throw. Looking right side, coming back to the ball is the receiver, but unable to get back to the sticks is Adrian Ellis, and it's 4th and short here in the third quarter. Too soon for maybe a little bit of aggressiveness here on 4th down, partner?
Potentially. I'll be honest, though, I wouldn't be mad if they decided to go for it. I think we may see them try to go for the hard count here. Try and pull LA off sides. They have gotten a few jumps so far in this ball game.
Oh, they go with Jet Zero through the middle, and I was about to say, when you have a man like Jet Zero in the backfield, why not give him the football? And he rewards Queen City's aggressiveness with a first down.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. I definitely expected OJ Bruin to try and pull LA with a bit of a hard count, maybe run the clock down a bit more. But Queen City decides to go aggressive and run the ball, and it works in their favor.
This time they go with a pass out of the heavy set. They'll float it out near side for the fullback, Teach, and Teach will get 7 yards on the swing pass. It's Scott coming up with the tackle.
Yeah, Queen City used to utilize their fullbacks a lot more, especially with the likes of Hubba Kimbrell and Chris Komisak when they were here in Buffalo. Teach takes over for the likes of both of them and gets a decent grab there. 7 yards, sets up a 2nd and short here for Queen City.
8th play of the drive here for the Corsairs. They go with 0. Near side, gets a block, and he's leveled. After crossing the 30-yard line, it's a pickup of 7. Another Queen City first down.
Yeah, another good stretch play there by the Corsairs, and Jet Zero finally getting a bit more work in. He's been he's seen a lot more than he did last week against London.
Bruin, he throws it right to the defender. It's picked off by Ryan Proster, and it's the 4th interception on the day for OJ Bruin.
I mean, it was just directly into the hands of the sophomore free safety. I think even one of the linebackers with their stone hand syndrome could have got their hands on that one. But Proster just in a great zone there. So a great call by the defensive coordinator here for LA to put Proster in the position to pick that ball off. And Queen City going to be shaking their heads a bit on the sideline for allowing yet another interception.
Total turnover on the day for these Corsairs. They cannot keep hold of the football, and Likens will take over. They try and go with the fullback dive from Tommy Robb. Nothing doing. It doesn't seem like Houston has too much of a problem, but they might have run into a little bit of a snag. We shoot it back to Cam and Irvine back at SFL headquarters.
Could it be a comeback, Mike St. Green?
Well, I would hope not, Cam, but Eric Price finds Logan Keel in the back of the end zone. Houston did give up a 21-point lead a couple of weeks ago. Let's hope it doesn't happen today, but 31-10 still in the third.
You biased fool. Back to Tyler and Aaron in Buffalo.
Give Mike St. Green an inch, you'll give him a yard as Jack Flash comes up with a nice reception. A big gain here for the tight end as Los Angeles starts off their drive with a nice pitch and catch.
Yeah, Jack Flash now eclipsing that 50-yard mark. He's currently the lead receiver for this Likens team.
Heavy set, they'll go with a run through the middle. Tommy Rumman, the fullback, now getting a lot more love here in the second half. He picks up 4 on the dive.
Yeah, makes up for that 1-yard loss on that dive earlier with a great pickup of 4 here to start this new set of downs here for LA.
Three wideouts off to the right. They go with a run to the left with Jack, who spins out of 1, but then cannot get past William Kidd. And Greg Gaines combining it on the tackle. A short gain of 3 yards. Third down is on the way.
Yeah, LA deciding to overload the receiving core on the strong side of the formation and instead go with a weak side run. Queen City, though, had enough people in the box in order to stop that run short.
Only 1 of 5 on third down for the Likens. Make that 1 of 6 as Richardson was hit from behind. by Andre Krim. The ball will flutter to the turf, and the Corsairs keep it within striking distance now, maybe forcing a punt.
Yeah, I definitely think LA going to be forced to punt this one away. And despite the scoreline, definitely a bright spot for the Corsairs, only allowing that 1 third down conversion so far in this ball game.
So it's Amelia Grace. She's back to punt near her own 40-yard line. It's a high spiraling punt to around 10-yard line. Holden at the 11 on the fair catch by Adrian Ellis. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for info about the league and its 28 teams, all the places you can watch live games, plus links to apparel from Sector 6 and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. See all the league records, team stats, player leaderboards, the rankings of the next class of SFL talent, and so much more. SimulationFL.net, your home for everything SFL. Jet Zero gets the call here on first down. Only a short pickup of 4 as he's taken down by Tazzy Blackwell.
Yeah, there was definitely a better hold there that Jet Zero could have hit. Still manages to squeeze his way through the line, though, for that 4-yard pickup. Getting back to the Queen City defense, though, their third downs allowed has been the biggest bright spot for this team. They were 47% coming into this, good for 3rd and lead.
Handoff again goes to Zero. He'll pick up another short pickup. 3rd and short is on its way, and 3rd down for this Queen City offense. Not as bright as an offense as they are on defense as far as limiting it. Only 2 of 7 today.
Yeah, I'm a bit curious as to why Queen City has decided to go a bit more with a clock management style, considering they're still down just over a score here.
The 2 field goals in the game, trying to keep this drive alive. Bruin looking right side, finds an open receiver at the tight end, Matthew Jr., and they'll keep the drive alive.
Yeah, of course, if you have your tight end wide open, getting those 3rd down conversions is pretty easy, as I'm sure a lot of teams can attest to here in the SFL.
Tight ends get a whole lot of love. We even have a hashtag for it here in the SFL. Hashtag throw it to the tight end. Courtesy of Mike Daggs, tight end over in Mexico City, is also a broadcast director here in the SFL. Floater near side here for Jet Zero. Gets a nice block by James Matthew Jr. on the near sideline, springing Zero free for another 1st down.
Yeah, Matthew's doing a great job pulling double duty, getting these blocks on these swing passes. Gets a nice one there, as you mentioned, to allow Jet Zero to get to the 1st down marker, as Queen City just 10 yards away from midfield now.
Other 3 wide receivers set here for the Corsairs. Bruin, as we've seen so often here in this ball game, is back in the gun. 4-man blitz here for Malaysia. Corner route, right side to James Matthew Jr. He's behind coverage, inside the 10 and down to the 7-yard line. Queen City in business.
Yeah, I'd like to see how McMichaels got that open, as we see OJ Bruin almost at 300 yards now. I really couldn't tell. I think it was the double team on Doug Spelling that allowed Matthew, to get that open behind coverage. Just a great corner route to get behind the double team. And Queen City now find themselves in the red zone. We've seen them here before, but I believe last time they were here, a Rochelle Colston interception cut it short.
This time it's a touchdown for Queen City. They go to the right side instead of over the middle. They cook up with Doug Spelling, and Spelling gets Queen City on the board with their 1st touchdown of the ball game.
Yeah, and Doug Spelling's been relatively quiet in this one. That one just his 2nd reception of the ball game, and boy, is it a much-needed one as Queen City finally finds the end zone in this one. I'd like to see them go for 2 here, I'll be honest with you, Tyler, for them to try and tie this ball game up.
A trot to the line with the offense. They are going for 2. This to tie up the ball game under 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. They go to Jet Zero. Zero through the middle, and we're tied. 14 apiece here in Buffalo, New York.
That almost blew up in the backfield. The front 4 of LA doing a great job trying to get a jump. They ran a bit of a pinch with the linebackers to the outside too. with the defensive ends, Spira and Blackwell. Unfortunately, that outside pinch, not enough to get into the backfield to stop Jet Zero. And this ball game's tied up. It's getting exciting here in Buffalo, Tyler.
And it does feel once again like a playoff game, because we saw last season in season 18, a 500 record ain't going to do it. And this season, even above 500 record might not do it, as Shea Carroll gets out to the left side of the 23-yard line on the return and no further. So this game, partner, means so much for both these teams as we go back to Houston, Denver on the comeback trail.
Thank you, Tyler. This time, Bailey O'Shaughnessy is loose.
Yeah, Bailey O'Shaughnessy, Cam, 9 touchdown rushes on the season, and he adds to that total right here, goes 70-plus yards to get Denver closer to Houston.
31-17 late third. LA's got a first and more. Back to Tyler and Aaron in Queen City.
Both games getting exciting in a hurry. Thanks, Cam. Logan Jack, and a nice move on the left-hand side, picks up the first down and more.
Yeah, between Logan Jack and Mr. O'Shaughnessy out in Denver, these halfbacks are putting in an absolute clinic on these defenses right now.
And for the two backs here in our game, Aaron, it's only really been in the second half, with Jack going for a huge 77-yard scamper to begin the matters here, and then Jet Zero coming alive late as well.
Yeah, Jet Zero has that 2-point conversion to its credit too, so both these halfbacks in the second half playing a key part of their offenses, although Matthew Alvarado, the rookie outside linebacker, stops that run by Jack in a hurry.
Yeah, we talked so much about these halfbacks, but some of the most underrated players are playing in today's game. Alvarado, in my opinion, one of the most undercredited outside linebackers for Queen City, making a pretty decent tackle on the right-hand side. As Richardson looks left side, that's caught. First down, yards and more to the Queen City 48-yard line. It's Jack Flash, nearly gone in a flash.
Yeah, and Alvarado in the picture again on that one. And the outside linebacker here for Queen City, I think, making a quiet case for himself for defensive rookie of the year this season. That's just my opinion on that, though.
First and 10, they go with Jack, near side, out of one tackle, and he's hit hard by Matthew Alvarado. And unfortunately, Mike Scott, who was injured earlier in the ball game, we get a quick update from him. He's questionable to return.
Yeah, twisted ankle, especially for a cornerback, having to make all those cuts. Definitely a sign of concern here, though I believe LA does have the depth to not field that the missing Mike Scott very much, with the likes of Jack Hacksaw and TD Jack.
Logan Jack gets the call here on second down, picks up 5. It'll be 3rd and 5 with just under 20 seconds to go.
Yeah, this play could be the end of the quarter if LA even decides to snap this ball before the end of the third.
Richardson in the gun. Elects to snap it. Clock expires here in the third quarter. Pass near side. It is caught for a first down to the 28-yard line. They get the tight end Flash involved once again, and it will bring us to the fourth quarter here in Buffalo, New York. We are tied 14-14. It's still anyone's ball game. Get your 4s, 86s, and 12s up in the stands and at home. You're watching the SFL, presented by APM Music, right here on Next Level Sports. Fourth quarter. Here from Compro Field, just about set to get started. Tyler Falk and Aaron Alexander in the booth. Here for the wild ride here in Buffalo. Welcome back to SFL action as Richardson, deep shot over the middle into coverage, in and out of the hands of LZ Pryor, could not haul it in.
Yeah, it definitely looks like LZ Pryor had a hand on that one. A great job by the Queen City coverage in order to knock that ball away, though, preventing LA from getting into the red zone. Got to set up 2nd and 10 here.
So Richardson will go under center, 2 tight ends off to his right, 2 wideouts to his left. 5-step drop from Richardson, looks for Logan Jack out of the backfield. He shoulders a man for a couple extra yards. 3 all told to the 26.
Yeah, an absolute shoulder check there to King Jamal, the strong safety, I believe. Gets Logan Jack a couple extra yards. Going to set up a 3rd medium, though, here for Queen City. They need to get to the 18 to make this 1st down.
5 wide receivers from the 25-yard line. Richardson, near side, passing to turn up field. Can't do it is Chris Lee. 2 yards shy at the 20-yard line. Counted as maybe a win for Queen City from stopping the drive. But now it's decision time for Los Angeles.
I think Queen City's going to trust their defense here and going to give it to the boot of Sid O'Lindy, which I think is the right call. There's a part of me that wants to see them go aggressive, and it looks like they might be here.
The 20-yard line. Are they going to play mind games here on 4th and 2? Just outside the red zone. Richardson with 2 backs in the backfield, and he will call a timeout as the play clock nearly expires. So Los Angeles take their first of 3 timeouts here in this 4th quarter, and that timeout might come back to bite them.
Yeah, I don't agree with them taking that timeout there. I think they should have snapped that ball. As you said, that tight end, or that timeout rather, could be to the detriment of the Lycans here, especially now that we're in the 4th quarter.
Especially after seeing their lead collapse all the way from 8 points down to nothing. If you're going to be in this tight ball game and need those timeouts later, well, it might come back to bite you, especially if you can't make this 37-yard field goal from the left hash. Sid O'Lindy's kick is up and good, and Los Angeles reclaimed their lead. Now a 3-point advantage, 17-14. As we want to remind you that the EPM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. EPM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. O'Lindy gets us going once again here in this 4th quarter. On the return is Ellis. Had a good return earlier and nearly busts one open here in the 4th quarter. Gets to the 29-yard line. He has been racking up the return yardage here in the ball game and setting his team up in excellent position.
Yeah, I believe that was Ellis's 2nd best return of the ball game. The first, of course, that one that almost broke away, that was started the drive at the 41 for Queen City.
Linebacker shift over on 1st down. Now show blitz through the middle. They back up. Only a 4-man rush. Pass left side. Tip hits the helmet off the deflection of Doug Spelling. Incomplete pass.
Yeah, Jack Saw, who, again, if I remember correctly, converted over to corner from safety. If not this past offseason, then the one prior. It does a great job to jump this route here. Doug Spelling caught a bit unawares as the tip bounces off his helmet. It's going to set up 2nd down here after that crazy incompletion.
Corsairs now come out in a heavy look. You're on 2nd down. 3 tight ends and 2 backs in the backfield. Go with a run for 0. Left side. Good block from Teach on the left-hand side as 0 will pick up 9.
Yeah, Teach doesn't get that block, and Jet Zero does not go for 9 yards on that one unless he breaks the initial tackle. But a fullback gets a great block. Jet Zero finds plenty of space, and Queen City finds themselves with a 3rd and short.
Oh, with 0 here on 3rd down. He's hit at the line, and they will not give it to him. And I think that's a good call, as Stinson made the tackle about half the length of a football shy of the marker.
Yeah, there's a part of me that would like to see Queen City go aggressive again. They have converted on 4th down earlier in this ball game. Instead, though, not going to take the risk with just under 10 minutes left to go and going to punt this ball away.
Deep in their own territory, right near field goal range. So I actually also agree with them punting it away. Jay Carroll on the return, tries to spin on a 1, does, and then is hit hard from behind by Amar Bryant Jr. Carroll slow to get up, eventually does rise to their feet, and will bring out their offense here to start another drive. As we want to remind you that the SFL Network is coming to the ESTV Plus app. 24/7 SFL programming will include content created by the community, the SFL's greatest games, exclusive network content, and live SFL regular season games. Download the ESTV Plus app on your Android, iPhone, or on your TV through Roku, Amazon TV, Amazon Fire, and Vizio, and so much more. As down goes Richardson deep in his own backfield, and it's the Corsairs that come to get him. The Grim Reaper coming to reap another sack.
Yeah, the Grim Reaper gets another one here, chopping the ankles of Sully Richardson with that scythe of his, and going to set up a long 2nd down now. 6-yard sack to the credit of Andre Krim.
Now the Lycans come out with 4 wide receivers. Richardson alone in the gun. Slant pattern over the middle as Richardson fires over the middle on the slant pattern and picks up a gain of 13 yards to Shea Carroll.
Yeah, Shea Carroll gets a great grab on that long 2nd down there. 13 yards is exactly what LA needed on 2nd down there. Is going to set up a much more manageable 3rd and short situation. Queen City, though, has been absolutely ruthless at stopping these 3rd downs. LA only 1 of 7 on the day so far in converting those.
Got 2 of 8 as through the middle goes Logan Jack, and he is also marked short, but I think LA have if they get the right camera angle, I think they might have a shout and maybe overturning that one.
I don't think they're going to risk it, though, with that timeout called earlier on that attempt on the hard count. So I think LA just going to punt this one away.
So out comes the punting unit. Amelia Grace. He will punt it away to Adrian Ellis. Back near his own 30-yard line and cannot make a return out of it. Only a 2-yard pickup at the most. And that'll bring us to a little bit of a break. 17-14, Los Angeles the lead. Queen City with the ball when we come back. You're watching the SFL on NXT. Shotgun set. Jet Zero with a nice run to the 19-yard line. Now Queen City trying to keep the momentum on their side. They find Doug Spelling at the 6-yard line. It's 1st and goal. Queen City, as we just cut in and out a little bit. We apologize for those technical difficulties, but the Queen City Corsairs aren't having any difficulty on this drive, partner.
Yeah, absolutely not. Jet Zero on the first play of the drive breaks out a 64-yard run with a wonderful touchdown-saving tackle by the strong safety Ryan Yosef, followed up by that quick slant to Doug Spelling to bring up 1st and goal here for the Corsairs.
Offset eye. They go back to zero, trying to go through the middle, but this time LA's alive to it. They come up with a nice tack led by Buddy Blaze.
Yeah, Buddy Blaze has been kind of leading this linebacking core in tackles. He's got 6 now with an assist to his credit. Ryan Yosef, who got that touchdown saving tackle we mentioned earlier, currently leads the team with 9.
2nd and goal here for the Corsairs. Bruin looks to throw over the middle into coverage, and it's one at a time. Incomplete. It was Tazzy Blackwell, the middle linebacker.
Yeah, Tazzy Blackwell been relatively quiet as far as overall production, but when she makes an impact, that her 2nd pass deflection on the game. It's just a matter of time now before we see her get an interception potentially.
Bruin near side. It is caught. Turning upfield is Matthew Jr., but can't turn up quick enough. Knocked out of bounds with a 2. And so, here comes the field goal unit for the Corsairs to retie up the football game.
Yeah, and with 5 minutes left to go here, it's starting to look like we may see some extra football. Still a lot to go, though. 5 minutes, a lot of time in a game like this.
Still have just under half a quarter to go here at Compro Field. But this to tie up the football game. A 19-yard chip shot for Judah Dorgan. And Dorgan has been perfect today, and he keeps it through the sticks. It is 17-17. Los Angeles and Queen City deadlocked here at Compro Field.
Yeah, Judah Dorgan currently 3 for 3 on field goals. Of course, the reason it's 17-17, Queen City did have a 2-point conversion earlier in the 3rd.
Jay Carroll on the return for the Lycans. Mousy to the right side. Nice return for Shea Carroll. One of the best returns of the football game for Shea. And we go back out to Houston, where it seems like they've alleviated some problems and got a couple touchdowns. Cam, take it away.
All's well that ends well, Mike St. Green.
Yeah, Cam GP Wells right here takes in his lead-tying 18th touchdown run of the season. Puts Houston comfortably ahead in the 4th, 45-17.
Brady Clark and Isabella Blackwell helped spring the Houston Headhunters back out to 28. Back to Aaron and Tyler in Buffalo.
Thanks, Cam. Houston looking to go to 6 wins on the season. They look pretty well and poised to do that, as fullback Rahman got the call in the last play, picked up 3, and here come the Lycans offense here on 2nd down. Offset eye behind Sully Richardson. 4-3 look out of Queen City. Quick drop for Richardson. Floater right side is tipped and picked. Going back the other way for the Corsairs. It's a fortuitous interception, and it's Mike Jones that hauled it in.
Yeah, Mike Jones with great awareness on the tip. I do want to correct a mistake. Judah Dorgan is not perfect so far today. He had that missed one from 54 at the end of the 2nd quarter. But Mike Jones comes up with a big interception, and exactly what Queen City needed to try and take over this ball game with 4.5 minutes left to go.
So here come the Corsairs inside Los Angeles territory from their 39. Bruin over the middle. It is cut by Doug Spelling for a pickup of 13.
Yeah, Doug Spelling now, if I have my numbers correct, is now over 100 targets on the season. He gets a quick slant there to pick up the first down for Queen City. And the pendulum of momentum firmly on the side of the Queen City Corsairs at the moment.
Get points out of this, I wonder. 1st and 10. Bruin looking to throw. Stepping up into the pocket. Floater off his back foot. Jet Zero running with the football now. Breaks off a tackle. And a play that looked kind of weird, to put it mildly, ends up with a 15-yard catch and run for Jet Zero.
Yeah, I think the downfield coverage by this LA secondary just a bit too tight on the receivers for Queen City, but it left Jet Zero open on the dump off. Those normally don't go very far, but Jet Zero had a lot of room in front of him. Good for a first down and the Los Angeles red zone.
Bruin has had to make a couple of those awkward throws. We'll see what he can do. It's a nice throw this time. 9-yard pickup for Deezer Powell, trying to stick out his arm for a little bit extra yardage. It'll be 2nd and 1 from the 2.
Yeah, Queen City has a chance to reset the down marker should they need it. But with a back like Jet Zero and receivers like Spelling, Powell, and Matthew, the tight end, we could see them hit pay dirt here unless LA's defense steps up in a big way deep in their own red zone.
Zero has been the man of the hour, especially in these short yardage situations. They go back to Jet Zero, trying to go through the middle, and he's taken down at the line of scrimmage this time.
Yeah, LA decides to go into that goal line set. Spiraw's the one that saves the touchdown for LA. We're going to see them go goal line again here.
Queen City will elect to go back into that same formation. Maybe another handoff to Zero. First you don't succeed, try again.
Could see an inside slant from Spelling, too.
They go left side for Zero, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Corsairs! And they take the lead of the ball game for the first time since the first quarter.
Yeah, that was a great stretch play by Queen City. The only defender that really had a chance on that one was Tazzy Blackwell. Unfortunately for LA and Blackwell, the pursuit just not quick enough to get there, and Queen City, as you said, finds themselves with a lead, their biggest since that field goal in the first quarter, as LA needs to find answers quickly with only 3 minutes left to go in this one.
Out comes Dorgan. Try and tack home the extra points. A high snap that is partially blocked, and it floats to the left side of the sticks. It is no good, and it will stay a 6-point lead for the Queen City Corsairs. Coverage of the Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports continues tomorrow at 8:45 p.m. Eastern, when Fort Worth and Mexico City will fight for the lead in the South Division, plus live look-ins on Florida and Arizona. Next week, London takes its unbeaten streak to Los Angeles, and Florida puts their slim East Division lead on the line against Denver. For a channel guide and more info about NXT, visit NLSE.com. On the return, Carroll out of one tackle, but is quickly surrounded at the 21-yard line. And Los Angeles will start their drive down by 6. 2:45 left to go in regulation.
Yeah, just when you thought this game couldn't be any crazier, the Lycan special teams unit blocks an extra point, which from some angles looked like it might have still gone through the uprights. And that could be the catalyst for LA to potentially take a lead in this one again.
Richardson has time, looks over the middle on the in route. That is caught for 5 yards, and LA electing to be aggressive. They find Cameron Longshot for the pickup of 5. And they're back to the line in a hurry. Richardson again going to look to throw. Pass near side. That's deflected. Incomplete.
Yeah, that one intended for Chris Lee, who's been relatively quiet in this one. Only 27 yards to his name thus far. Jack Flash has been pretty heavy-handedly leading the way for this Lycans offense. He's at 111 so far.
3rd and 5. Trips off to Richardson, run. He's in the gun. Pass over the middle. Caught for a first down. Back to the line they go. That was Chris Lee on the reception. First down. The down marker flips over. Another all slant pattern. That one is nearly caught. Instead, it's intercepted by King Jamal.
Yeah, King Jamal, the almost undisputed leader of this Corsair defense, gets a tip from Kappa Jones, the inside linebacker, and Queen City potentially shuts this one down. Sully Richardson with a trifecta of interceptions in this ball game.
3rd interception for Richardson as down goes Jet Zero in the backfield. I think he might have 4 interceptions in total. I think he had 2 early in the ball game and then 2 here in the back half of this 4th quarter. But we've reached the 2-minute warning here from Buffalo, New York, and the Corsairs put away the Lycans. You're watching the SFL on Next Level Sports. Two minutes to go here from Compro Field. Lycans only have 2 timeouts, and they'll give away 3 yards to Queen City coming out of the break. They jumped on before the snap, giving Queen City a new first down, and it's only 1st and 5 to go.
Yeah, that is definitely not what what LA needs. That was Gary Marks, the defensive tackle, picking up his first offside penalty. There have been 3 so far by LA, 1 by Spiraw, 1 by Neville's, if I recall correctly, and this one now on Gary Marks.
2nd and 7 here for the Corsairs. I am remiss to remind myself that Jet Zero lost a couple yards on first down the play before, but this time Zero is off to the races to the near head side, got a nice block inside the 20, and just outside the 10 he goes, stays in bounds. LA calls their first of 2 timeouts, and that run might just do it for Queen City.
Yeah, you got to give credit to Jack Hacksaw keeping the play alive, not giving up anything just yet, trying to give his team the best chance possible to try and, potentially turn the ball over. But Queen City, now 12 yards out from pay dirt, could potentially shut this one away and keep their playoff hopes alive while simultaneously dashing the chances of the Lycans.
A potential derailment for the Lycans as Zero is hit hard in the backfield. He will lose 4. Lycans call their final timeout. John Neville's with the tackle behind the line. Minute 49 to go in the ball game. Lycans are going to need a miracle. They will be down by 9, pending a made field goal at the end of all this.
Yeah, I mean, they have to hit the end zone first. This could very easily turn into just a... Oh, no, it would be a 9-point ball game. You're right. I can't math.
Well, we got statisticians to do our math, and we want to thank them, Liam Crowder and Justin Reside of the Stats Truck, helping us sound much smarter than we actually are and doing the math for us, partner, as Bruin takes the knee, his first of 2, which he'll do his second one here on 3rd and 15, as the Corsairs look to seal away this victory as they go back to victory formation.
Yeah, gonna bring Judah Drorgan out for a 35-yarder, I believe, if my lackluster math works out.
It would more than likely be a 35, maybe 36-yarder as Bruin takes another knee. Clock will wind down as the Lycans will have roughly 20-some-odd seconds to go in the ball game after Dorgan attempts a field goal. We did see Judah Dorgan get his extra point blocked on the last drive. The Lycans can block another one and keep it alive. This one from 35.5 from the right hash for Dorgan. Snap is good. Dorgan's kick is up, and it is good. From 35 yards out, the Queen City Corsairs take a 9-point lead with 27 seconds to go.
Yeah, that one I think may have sealed this one away for LA. They had plenty of chances in this one. Unfortunately, the turnover bug just a bit too much for the Lycans to overcome. Richardson came into this game the second least intercepted quarterback in the SFL. He gives away 4 in this ball game. And unfortunately, those 4 turnovers plus the fumble may be the end of LA's playoff drive.
And on the return of Shea Carroll, needs a good one here for the Lycans as he's taken down at the 22-yard line. 23 seconds on the clock. They have no timeouts. It is all up to the arm of Sully Richardson in the hands of his receivers to try and pull a rabbit out of its hat here in Buffalo, New York, in hostile territory. Richardson will go into the gun. He's got 3 wideouts to his left, 1 to his right.
LA needs to go super up-tempo here.
They're going to go with a slant pattern that gets them decent yardage. 13 all told for Chris Lee as they hurry back the line. But you can't do those slant patterns again as it just shows you how much time you lose. 13 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, the only way that I think LA has a chance to win this ball game is they go for the Hail Mary here, get the extra point, presuming the Hail Mary goes into the end zone. They have to get an onside kick and somehow find at least field goal range in order to take this game into OT. I like Sully Richardson as a quarterback. I just don't think that they have the ability right now.
I don't like this formation, partner. It's another slant pattern, and the clock will evaporate on him. Shea Carroll with the reception, and that is going to do it. Some interesting play calling at the end of the ball game seals it away for the Lycans. The Corsairs win 26-17, and it was a second half to remember for the Corsairs as they keep their playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, the second half for the Corsairs was absolutely massive. They got a clutch turnover that they needed that I believe they turned into points, if I remember correctly. And it looked for a second like LA had this game in hand, but the defense for Queen City just stepped up massively and helped shut this game away for the Corsairs on home turf.
We could talk again and again, partner, about the sloppy play that's been all over the football game, especially the first 6 drives ending up in turnovers, 3 apiece for each side. But then it all comes down to the Queen City Corsairs coming up with a couple of clutch takeaways, including one which saw them set up the game, which would be now the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah, and I mean, there were definitely chances where some plays by LA and some questionable calls by Queen City might have given LA the victory. Of course, that big 54-yard miss on second down at the end of the second quarter, the missed extra point that got blocked. So it wasn't that LA missed a lot of chances. It was just there were some questionable calls that I think go a different way, and this is a completely different ball game.
And so to break it down more, we'll send it to Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green, who will wrap up this clash between these Lycans and Corsairs. They'll take you through what happened in Denver and Houston, and they'll preview the late slate of tonight's football games on all of our family of networks. But partner, just one last note during this game. Who is your player, or maybe players, of the game?
Jet Zero. That huge run in the second half that set up the touchdown was absolutely massive. And realistically, before the second half, it was probably going to go to OJ Bruin, but I think with how alive Jet Zero came, it goes to him.
And the pundits have chosen their player, and it is Jet Zero. 131 rushing yards and a touchdown, 19 attempts, 30 receiving yards all told. And so, for Liam Crowder and Justin Rasine on the Stats Truck, and for my part, Aaron Alexander, I'm Tyler Falk, and we thank you for joining us. It's off to Cameron and Mike when we come back. Thanks for watching, everybody. Until Cameron and Mike see ya, it's good morning, good afternoon, and good night from Conpro Field.
Welcome back to the studios of the SFL, along with Mike St. Green. I'm Cameron Irvine. Queen City pulls a shocker. They were down 14-6. They outscore LA 20-3 at the end of the game, and the Corsairs are the ones that improve to 4-5. LA drops to 3-6 with the undefeated Knights coming up next. That looks rough. And their schedule down the stretch in general looks rough. Mike, initial thoughts to this win for the Corsairs?
A great win for the Corsairs, and I think they did what I kind of mentioned in the pregame, is that get Jet Zero involved. They still were a little heavy on the pass side, but Jet Zero came through, great for this team today. 131 yards on the ground and a touchdown and a big run there in the fourth quarter to help seal this victory. O.J. Bruin, he did struggle with the turnovers early in the game, but he did come. He came through nicely in the second half with 359 yards and a couple of touchdowns of his own. And Queen City, they did a great job of keeping themselves in the game, turning things over or turning things around as far as the turnover battle goes. They won that in the second half, and they came away with the victory.
Look, we've been critical of Queen City's offense throughout the season, not getting Jet Zero involved, being too just anemic, I guess is the best word to put it. But here today, Jet Zero got 19 carries at the end of it, really exploded in the second half. O.J. Bruin, not his best day, but Queen City's best offense is this dynamic duo of Stephen McMichaels and James Matthew Jr. at tight end. I think they've really found something here with this two tight end look. And Queen City's still definitely in the hunt for the playoffs here.
Yeah, they definitely put themselves in a position to, compete down the stretch. And as you mentioned, Matthews Jr. and McMichaels, they do a great job at the tight end position for this team. That whenever they need a big play or need to change to keep moving, they have a tendency to find one of these guys. And then I don't want to leave out, wide receiver Doug Spelling. He had a solid game as well, 92 yards and a touchdown. So these guys came in, like I said, struggle. With the turnover bug early, but did what they needed to do, shut LA down in the second half and came away with a big win for this franchise.
Houston blasts Denver 45-17. Got a little dicey there early fourth quarter, but the Headhunters come away with a win. They improved to 6-3, dropped Denver to 3-6, and Houston is right in the thick of it in this wild South Division now, Mike.
Yeah, that was a huge win for the Headhunters this week. As I mentioned, if they would have lost this game, they would have clearly been in last place in the South Division. And we already have one team in the South Division, the Lone Star, that's on the outside of the playoffs looking in with a winning record. So Houston would have likely have occupied that spot had they lost this game today. But a big victory, a bunch of big plays on the night for them. MSG with a huge touchdown, 107 yards receiving for him. And then GP Wells did a great job on the ground, 199 yards and a couple of touchdown runs for him. But a lot of things went well for them, particularly on the defensive side. That great defensive line did a fantastic job tonight of really stifling Eric Price and that Denver passing game. 6 sacks on the day. These guys, got after it again. Alex Perez with 4 sacks and Tom Tanner coming through with 2 sacks of his own.
Yeah, that defensive line, 8, and got Houston their 6th win. Coming up tonight on SFL YouTube shortly, Canton, winners of 4 in a row. They take on winless Seattle in a battle of expansion teams. And then Motor City, struggling. The V8s go to Portland, where the Fleet can get one game within the division lead, just behind Vancouver after LA's loss tonight with a win over Motor City. Those games should be great. That's coming up on the SFL family of networks tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow for a big South Division tilt between Mexico City and Fort Worth. Kickoff at 8:45 p.m. Eastern tomorrow evening. Mike and I will be back here for that one. For all of us at the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music, I'm Cameron Irvine. This has been a presentation of the SFL and the SFL studios, and thank you all for joining us. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great evening, everyone.